Hello, everyone. May God bless you greatly. May our God bless you abundantly in this beautiful Sunday, January 15th, 2023. May the light of God shine upon you so you can see brightly what God has in store for you. And one of the things we spoke about today in the service, which is eye-catching, is very important, is for you to stop trying to fulfill the desires of your heart. Yes, we have to stop because the heart speaks a language we don't fully understand. Have you ever spoken to someone in a different language? You could guess what they were talking about because of the some of the words are similar to the word in English. You could guess, but you are not sure. Has this ever happened to you? Has this ever happened to you? You assumed you knew something people were talking about, but they were not talking about what you thought they were talking about. Has this ever happened to you? That's exactly what happens to our hearts. Our heart speaks a language we don't speak. So many times we guess and we guess wrongly, and we end up suffering the consequences of that bad guess. That's how the heart is. But now, the Bible says, delight in the Lord your God, and he shall how does it say? Let me go to the Bible for me to quote word by word. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of your heart. Commit your ways to the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. So if you delight yourself in the Lord, he will satisfy the desires of your heart. God knows your heart. The Bible says in Jeremiah that no one knows our heart but God. Jeremiah 17, only God knows. He searches it and he tests the mind. No one knows you better than God. So when you delight yourself in him, he's the one who satisfies the desires of your heart. He knows exactly what your heart needs. We are easily deceived, tricked by the deceits of this world. For instance, the world, the society we live in today misunderstands love for lust. They have what they lust and not what they love. Hence why marriages nowadays don't succeed, because people go for what they lust, but they are unable to love. Unable to love. So they marry, they come together, sometimes have kids, and they break up because they lust and not love. It's time for us to turn to God, for God to fulfill our heart's desire, and we don't even try. We let God do it, and God will lead you to the fulfillment of your heart's desire. All right, friends. Well, today is the 15th day of January 2023, and it's also the 15th day of 2023. So the meditation in the book, Our Bread for 365 Days, take us to the title, How to Become God's Friend or Friend. Let us see how. Opening quote to John chapter 15 verse 14, the Bible says, "You are my friends if you do what I command you." It's not what I ask you, it's not what I tell you, it's what I command you. The secret to conquer God's friendship is obedience. Your obedience determines your faith. No one obeys someone they don't believe in. God called Abraham my friend. You can see that in Isaiah 41:8, because he saw obedience in him. Ever since he married, he had the dream of having a son. The two of them were already advanced in age when they received what they wanted so much. A few years later, without any explanation, God told him to take his son, walk for 3 days to Mount Moriah, and sacrifice the child to him. That's how tests happen. They come out of the blue and demand a response from our faith. The Bible doesn't say that Abraham complained. It's obvious that he must have felt an almost unbearable pain. He had 3 days to walk up Mount Moriah, 3 days to give up. Each step he took was like a labor pain. He was going to destroy the dream that took more than half a century to happen, but he obeyed. Abraham was tested to his limits, and God approved of him when he sacrificed his dream. A faith without limits also brings miracles without limits. At the last minute, God stopped him from killing the child, for he saw faith greater than feelings in Abraham's determination. Not even pain prevented him from believing. That's the kind of faith that gave Abraham more than he had ever dreamed of. He only wanted a son, but his new friend called God swore to him, saying, open quote, blessing I will bless you, and multiplying I will multiply your descendants as the stars of the heaven. And your descendants shall possess the gate of their enemies. In your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because, again, you have obeyed my voice. Close quote to Genesis 22, verses 17 and verse 18 as well. No one has ever lost out of obeying. That's the highlight for today. That's beautiful. When you obey what God says, what you do not expect him to do, he does, and he surpasses our expectations. If you haven't been to the Universal Church yet, we have a service at 4 o'clock against addiction in Suva and Lautoka. And at 6 p.m. we have our later service in Suva, and 5 p.m. in Lautoka and Nausori. Keep the faith. Be well. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.